Welcome to the Wellness Biz Academy, where we turn passionate practitioners into profitable practice owners. I'm Duffill, corporate business strategist and naturopath, showing you how to build a thriving practice with simple, proven systems that work. Let's create the practice that you long to have, because it's time to start living your passion and growing your practice. Hi everyone, welcome back and thanks for joining me. Tell me, do you ever find yourself wondering, how can I grow an audience? In 2024, things seem a bit harder than they have before. I'm trying social media, I'm trying content, I'm trying video, I'm posting, but nothing seems to be working. I'm not creating the audience as fast as I would like. If this is something you are thinking, you are not alone. A number of people have mentioned this to me, that this is a concern that they have. And so today we are going to be covering this topic. Today I'm sharing with you what I find are some of the easiest strategies to grow your audience online right now. So grab your notebook, get a cup of tea, and let's dive into this episode. I've actually got 11 different tips for you today. So there's bound to be something here that you can use in your business that will start to grow your audience and build your list right now. Let's dive into tip number 1. And this is really an umbrella for everything else that I'm about to say. The one thing that we are seeing this year that's working more than anything else is having a varied strategy. I call it visibility marketing or a visibility strategy. So you've probably heard me talk about that before. Gone are the days where you could pick one platform, build a huge audience, own that platform, and that would build your business. Those days are gone. Now we are in a time where marketing across varied platforms consistently, we don't have to be there all the time, but consistent marketing across varied platforms. So you create something that's called an omnipresent strategy. It seems like you're on every platform or on a lot of platforms a lot of the time, even though all you've done is been strategic, you've planned, you've scheduled, and you've executed. So a visibility marketing strategy is key. Think about where your audience is. Where are these ideal clients that you'd love to work with? And put yourself in those places. Part of your strategy also needs to include content, because we need to be driving visitors to your website. All roads lead to Rome, and Rome right now is your website. That's where you need somebody to buy or to book. So you need to be using content to your advantage. Great way to do this is bring back the blog once a week about a key topic that your audience is interested in, and then share that blog across your other platforms and channels. Tip number 2. You need to be consistent, you need to be reliable, you need to be regular. Feast and famine marketing gives feast and famine results. And I always say to my clients that what's happening in your business right now today is actually the outcome of what you did 90 days ago in your business. There is about a 3-month cycle of doing the work, putting out the marketing, and then seeing the results. And when you are doing feast and famine in your marketing, you're up and down, your results are going to be exactly the same. So you need to make a schedule that you can execute consistently and reliably, and you need to stick to it. So consistent and reliable. Now, remember what I said a minute ago, though. Consistent is not constant. It's not about being on every platform and every channel all of the time. It's about having a regular presence. So, for example, in this business right now, you know that I come in every Wednesday with a podcast. You also know that every Tuesday there's a video that drops on YouTube. You also know that once a week you get an email in your inbox with some great tips on how you can improve your marketing and business. So there's regularity there. There's reliability there. And believe you me, if I don't drop my podcast on a Wednesday, I get messages about it. So think about how you can create a system or a plan for your business that is consistent and reliable, but one that you can execute. Tip number 3 is about working with others. Could you pitch yourself as a speaker for events? Could you offer yourself as a speaker in somebody's membership and masterclass, maybe in their mastermind? There's a lot of different ways and spaces that you could be sharing your message now. Consider who has an aligned audience, but who isn't a direct competitor of yours, and who has an audience full of people who could be your right client. Put yourself forward for speaking opportunities, for workshops, to present in masterclasses, to present in other people's memberships. Come on their podcasts and interview on their podcasts. There's a number of different ways that you could be collaborating to put yourself in front of new potential clients. These are really great ways to build your audience. And in 2024, nothing is working as well as standing on stages and speaking on other people's podcasts. Number 4. Tip number 4 is diversity of content. Your audience will get bored if you are forever singing the same song. Think about the way you're putting your content forward. Are you sharing different things in different ways that keep them interested and keep them engaged? If you are always saying the same thing in the same way, they're going to lose interest. I have a lot of people asking me right now on social media, my static posts are dead. What am I going to do? The algorithm hates me. No, the algorithm doesn't hate you. Your audience is bored. The audience at large is bored with static posts. They've got more interesting things. They can watch videos. They can watch reels. They can hop on TikTok. There's lots of entertaining out there. So what they call that is actually a new brand of what they call edutainment. So there's a little bit of information in there, but it's entertaining. Think about how you can improve the content you've got going out there and diversify it to keep interest in your audience and garner new members into your audiences. Number 5 on my list is your lead magnet. Now, a lot of people out there are saying lead magnets are dead, and that is not the truth. That is not the truth. Old-fashioned lead magnets, though, aren't doing as well as they used to. Putting a PDF on your website and hoping someone downloads it is not going to work for you. You need to create a lead magnet, a freebie that is interesting, that's engaging, that answers a question, and then you need to promote it. You need to be sharing this across your channels just like you would market any other offer or any other product. That is how you're going to build your list. But more than having one lead magnet, and I know 5 years ago that's what you did, you had one lead magnet and everything else in your business was built around one. Those days are gone. People like to consume content in different ways. They like to learn things in different ways. That is why I recommend having multiple lead magnets in your business. Some people will enjoy doing a quiz. Some people like to write and fill out a workbook. Other people might like some free training modules in a video format. Other people might like to do an audio file, so an exclusive podcast could be great. Think about your audience, what's going to suit them the best, and then offer that free content in a number of different ways. You are going to be turning on the tap of those leads and building your audience so much more quickly than if you just had one lead. Number 6. Now, number 6 is about the content and the quality of the content that you offer. For a long time, we have known that sharing value content online was a great way to build your audience, and that still stands. But just sharing that content on social media platforms isn't getting traction anymore. Those days are gone. What does work, though, is sharing that content in different ways. Could you have them as free on-demand video trainings on your website? Could you do a monthly free webinar on certain topics as a way to build your list and garner a new audience? Could you offer free workshops? So instead of dropping free content on your social media channels every single day of the week, could you pull that all together and do a monthly workshop for free to get new leads into your business? There's so many different ways to go about it, and it's a great list building tool. And to be really honest with you, more than a decade and a half ago, when I started my naturopathic clinic, that's how I built my clinic. I did a monthly free webinar series, and that built my audience so quickly, and it filled my books. Within 3 months of starting my business, my books were full and I was already running a wait list. Think about how you could bring in new audience members by using a free webinar series or workshop series. Number 7. Now, number 7 brings in the concept of you getting a little bit more visible, because nothing works as well this year as being a personal brand and standing out as a personal brand. People are sick of the faceless accounts and the faceless brands. They want to know who they're working with. They want to know who they're buying from. And remember, people buy from people. So standing out, sharing your story, let them know why you do what you do. Let them know the story of how you got here. Tell them the story of some of the clients that you're helping, the outcomes that they've gotten. Give them a reason to feel like they know you and to get to know you so they can align with you. Loyalty will build your audience very, very quickly in this current market. Moving on from that point, the next point I have is around how you engage with that audience. As you're building this audience online, on your email list, wherever it is that you're building your audience, ask them questions. Engage with them. Ask what they think. Ask what they need. On your emails, you could ask a question and invite them to hit reply and share their thoughts with you. On social media, you could post a question and ask them what they think and then come back and respond and engage. It's about getting to know people. You've got to remember that online there is a screen between you and your potential client, but that doesn't mean you can't communicate, you can't connect, and you can't engage. Find ways to bridge that gap and get to know the people in your audience. Point number 10 is a really important one. It's about being focused on what you do. What is your zone of genius? What's your wheelhouse? it gets confusing online if one week you're talking about this amazing topic and then next week you're talking about something completely different. The week after that, you're talking about something entirely different again. There needs to be some sort of consistency, run, flow, focus through what you do. For this reason, even though I'm a naturopath by trade, you won't see me ever posting pictures of my food at a cafe because that doesn't fall into the realm of what I share in my business. Nutrition is not a topic in my business. It's not a content pillar. So think about what you share in your business, define some content pillars for what you do share, and stick to those topics. But make sure that one of your content pillars is always about you as your personal brand, why you do what you do, and the values that you bring to the work that you do. Now, tip number 11 is going back to something that we did discuss earlier on in today's episode, and it is about borrowing other people's audiences. You have great value to offer, and it's not just about you standing there trying to develop this organic audience that might take a while to build. Think about what I said earlier. Can you speak on other people's stages? Can you pitch to podcasts? This is the concept of borrowing other people's audiences. So find those spaces. Is there community groups online? Are there memberships where you could present? Is there a live event happening and you could possibly speak on stage or run a networking group? Think about all the different people out there that have audiences that are full of clients who could be your right client who you could get in front of. Because in 2024, borrowing other people's audiences is a great way to fast track your own audience building. So today I've covered, 11 different ways now of how you can build your audience online. And these are ways that are working this year. The game has changed. How we built an audience 4 and 5 years ago is not how we do it this year. Make sure that we're developing marketing strategies and tactics that are going to continue to grow our businesses over the long term. And you cannot grow a business if you do not have an audience. So take these tips today and start to implement those into your business and see the changes that you make. Remember what I said early on, that what you're seeing in your business today in terms of the client numbers, the revenue, the income that you're making, this is the result of what you did 90 days ago in your business. So think back 90 days from now, what were you doing back then? Okay, if it wasn't a lot of marketing right now, you're not going to have a lot of people on the books. So think about what you want the next 90 days to look like. What do you want to be doing 90 days from now? And work towards that. Work on getting marketing out there, getting some content out there, building your audience and engaging with your audience. So 90 days from now, you can have the thriving business that you want to have. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was great to have you here, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Thank you for listening to the Wellness Business Academy podcast with me, Cass Duffill. If you are interested in growing your practice, come get my free guide, The Practice Success Toolkit, at cassduffill.com or grab it in the show notes. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.